Micah Parsons sends blunt message to Cowboys front office. Dallas Cowboys star Micah Parsons is not interested in tanking for a draft pick. Parsons and the Cowboys pulled off an upset win on Sunday, taking down the Washington Commanders 34-26 as a double-digit underdog. With the victory, the Cowboys moved to 4-7, snapping a 5-game losing skid. The Cowboys secured a solid win in a game defined by a chaotic fourth quarter. Yet, some fans might argue that Dallas should focus less on winning and more on positioning for a shot at top-tier draft prospects, such as Colorado's dynamic two-way star, Travis Hunter. But Parsons is the ultimate competitor and isn't interested in that line of thinking. "I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking," Parsons said. "If the higher-ups are looking for a draft pick, I hope that's ruined, because we got a lot of football left to play. As long as I'm a part of this team, we're always going to fight." Even if the Cowboys manage to run the table and finish 10-4, their postseason hopes would likely still require some outside help. However, as a team leader, Parsons' statement sets the right tone, one that can inspire and ripple through the entire roster. Parsons can't look too far ahead. While he's locked in for next season under his fifth-year option, what lies beyond is uncertain. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb secured massive contract extensions prior to the start of the year, and Parsons is next in line. He's expected to sign a deal that will make him one of the highest-paid non-quarterbacks in NFL history. Cowboys' Micah Parsons slams rumor team is tanking. Dallas Cowboys star linebacker Micah Parsons' words for those who think his team is sliding into a losing streak. Per John Machota, "I'm not done yet. I don't plan on tanking," Parsons said. "If the higher-ups are looking for a draft pick, I hope that's ruined, because we got a lot of football left to play. As long as I'm a part of this team, we're always going to fight." Parsons is no doubt basking in a victory glow over the Cowboys' 34-26 win over the Washington Commanders. Dallas suffered a crushing loss to the Houston Texans in Week 11, the fifth consecutive defeat for the team in an unfortunate streak. Now, the LB seems eager to dismiss speculation that Cowboys management was interested in leaning into their losing trend to get a top-5 draft pick. Interestingly, Parsons did not exactly dismiss rumors that Dallas might be working with a losing strategy, but he clearly asserted that he's not going to tank any games for a draft pick. Although the Cowboys very much needed this win, it appears the LB was still not as satisfied as you'd think for the victory. "Yeah, we did a great job, but I just wish we finished better at the end," Parsons said, letting M get that touchdown at the end. "That really bothered me. But that's what I mean when I say we're a good team. We're slowly putting games together. This time we did all 3 quarters. I would just like us to finish better in the 4th quarter, but we're definitely on our way to being a team that we want to be." The Cowboys will next face the New York Giants at home, which brings up another wincingly bad losing streak for Dallas. The team has lost their last 6 consecutive home games, which means that in order to keep their winning edge, they'll have to break another unfortunate record. More news: Cowboys' Micah Parsons responds to viral Mike McCarthy shade. The Cowboys sealed the win over the Commanders with a dominant defensive performance, including 4 sacks on quarterback Daniels, 2 of which came from Parsons. They also recorded a fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, several quarterback pressures, and some of the best secondary coverage of the season. This impressive effort came despite the absence of Trayvon Diggs due to injury, Kalen Carson being inactive, and Darren Bland returning on a limited snap count. Quinn reveals Commanders' message after upset loss to Cowboys. The Washington Commanders under Dan Quinn are getting a crash course in how brutal NFL football can be, with a 34-26 loss to the Dallas Cowboys at Northwest Stadium. It now marks 3 straight losses for Quinn's team, and after starting the season 7-2 and being the NFL darlings, now the reality of pro football is beginning to set in. The Commanders were double-digit favorites, and the Cowboys were dead in the water with a host of injuries, making them sitting ducks, but Washington couldn't get the job done. And Quinn was rather pointed in reminding his team that it is all good and well to learn lessons in tough times, but you have to grow from them. "What I told the team after the game was that this is the most challenged we've been in our time together," Quinn said. "I reminded them that it's not enough to learn the lessons, but we have to apply them. Loved the fight we have, close games, but we got to apply them." Cowboys coordinator Mike Zimmer rendered the Commanders' offense ineffective in the first half, but showed signs of life in the second half. With Jaden Daniels leading an 11-play, 70-yard drive to get things rolling. But the overall performance was too up and down in every phase, including special teams, which was a flat-out nightmare. Again, the Commanders will have plenty of lessons to learn from this humbling loss, and it is even more important now that Washington applies those lessons to their next game. Because after starting the season fast, things are quickly going south in the nation's capital. Cowboys are fourth team ever to have two players return kickoffs for TDs in one game. With 2:49 remaining in the fourth quarter on Sunday, Cowboys returner Cavani Turpin returned a kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown. With 14 seconds remaining, Wanya Thomas grabbed an onside kick and returned it 43 yards for a Cowboys touchdown. That made the Cowboys just the 15th team in NFL history to return two kickoffs for touchdowns in the same game, and only the fourth team to get kickoff return touchdowns from two different players. The last time two different players returned kickoffs for touchdowns for the same team in the same game was in 1998, when the Ravens' Corey Harris returned a kickoff 95 yards in the first quarter and Patrick Johnson returned 197 yards later in the same quarter. On the ensuing kickoff after Johnson's touchdown, Minnesota's David Palmer ran it back 88 yards for a touchdown, making it the only time in NFL history that there were three kickoff return touchdowns in the first quarter of a game. In 1952, the Bears' Leon Campbell had an 86-yard kickoff return touchdown, and Eddie Macon had an 89-yard kickoff return touchdown against the Packers. And in 1940, the Bears' George McAfee had a 93-yard kickoff return touchdown, and Ray Nolting had a 97-yard kickoff return touchdown, also against the Packers. And those are the only games in NFL history with a team getting kickoff return touchdowns from two different players, with the Cowboys the only team to get them both in the fourth quarter. A thrilling finish to an upset win in what has otherwise been a disappointing season for the Cowboys. What's bothering Cowboys' Micah Parsons? The Dallas Cowboys snapped their 5-game losing streak with a 34-26 win over the Washington Commanders at Northwest Stadium. Part of the reason why the Cowboys managed to secure the win was the fine performance of Mike Zimmer's much-maligned defense. Coming up against a Commanders offense that had the capacity to shred Dallas on the ground and through the air, given the host of injuries on defense, the unit stood tall. But late in the fourth quarter,